I don't find gaming very fun. The most that I'll play now is I'll play for like an hour, and I usually still try to play every night or once every other day. I'll play maybe a game or two of Rocket League, and I'll play a couple of matches in Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, and that's about it. I don't know if it's the games that aren't very fun. I don't know if it's like, I know part of it's probably that this new Call of Duty is like not as fun as some of the other games, but like no matter what game comes out relating to Call of Duty, people are always going to complain. Like they're always going to say it's not as good as the other one. They're going to say it's not as good as last year. Like, why can't we go back to this? Why can't we go back to that? Why don't they have this in place? And it's like, I agree. I do agree, but I think it's also more than that. I think that the main reason that we don't enjoy video games or anything like we used to is because we are not how we used to be. As in, we're not kids anymore. You know, when we were little, we'd play games, and the biggest worries in our world was having a unit test, having some quizzes, trying to finish your homework. Lots of this stuff when I played video games is before I ever even had a job. And once I had a job, I would still play video games, but I'm talking like all we would have to do is play video games. And like even relating this to YouTube and stuff, when I was making YouTube videos and I first kind of started when I was in junior high, that was all that me and my buddy would do, because in the summer, especially, we had nothing to do. I'd go to my day home where he lived, and we would just film stuff all day. We'd game all day. Like, that's what we would do because that's all we had to do. We didn't know anything else. We didn't know about having to go to work to earn some money. We didn't know about any of that. We didn't know about the stresses of paying bills, of actually having to like be on your own or having to be grown up or anything like that. All we were focused on was playing our video games and having fun doing it, you know, or filming YouTube videos. Because when you're little, that's all that you really focus on. And I think the part that sucks is that when you're in that moment, and this can be with anything, you don't realize. My computer, by the way, just shut off. 1 second, folks. I got to make sure that this is still working. Okay, we're still good. Sorry, I don't know why it does that. If you just saw me pause for a second, that's because my computer just went completely blank and my monitor shut off. But we're good. Now I completely lost my train of thought. That's not something that we want to have happen. What was I gonna say? What was I talking about? I was saying that when we were kids, that's all we had to worry about. That's all we would do. That doesn't. Okay, yeah. This doesn't just relate to like video games or making YouTube videos. That could be like anything that you used to do when you were a kid. Any hobbies you used to have, any sports you used to play. I guarantee it's probably more fun when you were younger versus like now if you're still doing it. I mean, you might still really have that passion and that drive for it, but it probably still doesn't feel the exact same as it used to. And that's the part where it just sucks because we're growing up. And although it can be exciting, you also don't realize how good things were and how fun things were in the moment when you were a kid until you're older and you reminisce and you realize, wow, those times were actually really good. Those times are actually really fun. Sometimes you don't notice that and you don't appreciate it, and that can even be now, right? Like if you're living in a moment right now and things overall are going good and you're having fun, you might not realize it until that time passes and then you look back. Or maybe like myself, a lot of the time I try to live in the future too much, thinking, oh, if I want to do this and this and this and this and that, and then all of a sudden you get there and you don't realize that you're in that moment of having what you wanted to have, or being where you want to be, or creating what you want to create, because you always think about the future or reminisce about the past and you forget to live in the present. I don't want to get all like philosophical and stuff, but that's just how I feel about not just video games, but even about YouTube and stuff. Is, you know, last week I talked about it so much about like creating YouTube and how it used to be so fun and like how I don't make any money and or anything really much anymore and stuff. And it's because like when you're in the moment of doing it, you don't appreciate the moment that you're in, right? You're having fun doing it, and you really are. Like I had some of my best memories are making YouTube videos, are playing video games when I was a kid. But when you're young, all you want to do is grow up. You know, you're like, school sucks. I want to be done school. Let me get out of grade 7, get into 8th grade. Then from there, I'm going to get into high school. I'm going to graduate. And then I'm going to go to university or college. I'm going to learn something new and get a job and move out and all this. I'm going to live on my own. And, you know, that's what you think when you're young. And everyone thinks that. I know it. I know everybody thinks that. But you hear from older people, who I am now, you hear from older people saying, no, you don't want to grow up yet. It's okay. Just live how you are. Have fun while you're at it. Have fun while you're young. And you don't realize that until you're in the position of that older person who used to say that, and you're going, oh my goodness, I can't just sit back and play video games all day unless you're a full-time streamer. That would be cool, but you just can't do it anymore. You have more stresses than just having a test to complete. You know, you don't just have to study for stuff if you're in school. You also probably have a part-time job, or you might be living on your own. You might have to go shopping. You have to like take care of stuff. Things can pile up as you go, which can be really stressful. So I think that's the main reason why video games aren't fun right now, is because we have simply grown up.